Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Today's question comes from a guy who owns a house cleaning company, and he's responsible for motivating a team of people to get up every single day and to go to work and have a great attitude. And his question is, how do you do that? Okay, that is an awesome question, and it is a question that homeowners everywhere are asking about their employees and teams of house cleaners that they send out into the field. Now, if I had the answer to that question and there was one magic bullet, I would package it all up and I would be rich. Okay, but the reality is we are dealing with humans. And because we're dealing with humans, we're dealing with a whole bunch of really variety style problems, challenges, disappointments, excitements, frustrations, anxieties, whatever, right? We're not dealing with robots. This is not something you can just systematize and send out into the workforce. When somebody's having an awesome day, someone else on your team is having a really bad day. And there are things that you can't control, like divorce. One of your employees shows up and they're going through a divorce, and their head is down and they're sullen and they're crying, and they'll be cleaning a stove, and you turn around and their eyes are bloodshot and tears are running down their face, and you want to give them a really big hug, and you're on the clock and you're like, what do I do? Right? We're all dealing with different kinds of stuff. So what's really important for me and has worked for me is to check in frequently, whether it's every day or whether it's multiple times a day, to just kind of get a vibe and a pulse on that particular person. There are people that are just intrinsically happy, right? Nothing flusters them. Stuff just rolls off their back and they're cool. And then there are other people that wear their heartstrings on their sleeves. And if you look at them cross-eyed, they will bust up into tears, and they're highly emotional people. And it's like walking on eggshells around them at all times. And so you have to tread very lightly and you have to be gentle. And my first thing that I go for is the feel, felt, found method, because I don't want to start pontificating and giving advice when really all they want to do is be heard. And so, hey, I noticed that you look really sad. And I don't want to encourage them to like mope and, use me as a free therapist. But if it's me or it's the customer, I would way rather them tell me. Right? I want to be the one that receives that and not the customer. So if you need to get something off your chest, go ahead and share that with me. Let's make sure that we're in a place of coping and being civil so that when you go out to a customer's house, you can actually provide them the best customer experience, right? Okay, so I understand how you feel. Okay, yeah, and you just listen, yep. Oh, yeah, okay. And then I know how you feel, or I don't know how you feel. That must be very difficult for you. Many people who have gone through divorces have found that their life does continue, but it takes a little bit of time. So my question to you is, do you need some time off? Do you need to make sure that while you're going through this particular process that you come in an hour late every day so that you can go work out in the morning and get some endorphins running through your body? Is that something that you really need to focus on right now? And it may be that you have to adjust their schedule so that you can be more accommodating to them through a time of despair. Because if I can bring somebody in an hour late every day, but it gets them out the door and it gets them exercising and they report back to me and I'm their accountability partner, then at least they're going to show up to work an hour late, rather than not at all because they called in stressed out and moping and crying and in just a huge state of depression, right? So there are, case-by-case basis, there are some things you're going to have to do, but as an employee owner, as a boss, as the guy that's in charge of managing everybody on your team, your job is you're a motivational coach. Every single day, there are people you're going to have to motivate every single day. You're going to have to give them a pat on the back every single day. You're going to have to give them a swift kick in the butt every day. Every single day, you're going to have to rip off that mask of tears and whining and crying and frustration, and the customer looked at them cross-eyed, the customer had complaints, they got called back for a satisfaction guarantee, whatever it might be. Every single day, you're going to end up being a motivational coach to these people. And so get really good at reading motivational books. Get really good at listening to motivational podcasts. And get really good at creating a little barrier around you so that when all of that comes in, it doesn't stick. Because you can't turn around as a motivational coach and go home to your family and take all of that and spew that on them, right? You have to leave that there at work and go, whew, peel off that mask, hang it up, and then turn around and go back to your own happy family. It takes a really dedicated person to be able to deal with the high-strung emotions that we run into so many times in this business. And so the people that just think they're going to run off and steal all your customers and they're going to run a business and grow bigger and faster than you, there are a lot of things they don't understand, like the motivational coach part, because it's a huge part of your business. And if you can't maintain your employees and you can't maintain the vibe of your business, you won't have a business. I mean, it's pure and simple. So my suggestion to you is be caring, listen, feel, felt, found. Listen first. Try to identify with the person. Let them know they're not the only person in the world that has felt this way. I mean, I hate to say this is going to sound really callous, but when somebody's going through a divorce, they're not the first person that's ever gone through a divorce, right? We all know people that have made it through on the other side and have still been successful. They've lived in full, developed, happy, normal, carefree lives on the other side of this emotional breakdown that is going on right now that's a divorce. I feel, felt, found. People found, and these are the solutions they found, and then help them find a solution. Help them find a solution that is specific to them. Like I said, if the girl can come in an hour later, but it means she's exercising every day, she's going to be in better shape for the job and she's going to be in a better mental place. And I would rather have her for 7 hours a day than have her skip out whole days at a time because she's not there. All right, that's my tip for today. Best of luck to you. And you've got the show notes, you got my email, you've got askahousecleaner.com. Keep me posted. I want to hear how this goes for you. Okay, cool. So until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.